a lot of people have asked me, well, what's the difference between what Starwood is doing now as opposed to what Blackstone did last year when they had to cap redemptions? And there's a key difference. So last year, yes, both Starwood and Blackstone had to cap their redemptions, but they capped it at the 5% per quarter that was outlined in their prospectus. So they performed exactly as they were supposed to. That still put a lot of pressure on the shareholders where they were thinking, I thought I was going to be able to have access to all of my money, when in truth, the prospectus outlined that it was going to be redeemed at a 5% cap per quarter. And of course, Blackstone BREIT shares traded on Lodas Marketplace, and there was liquidity for those who were still looking to get liquidity beyond what the redemption queue could provide. And of course, the same exists for Starwood. But the key difference with Starwood right now is that they actually went beyond just capping it at the 5%. And last week said, we're going to actually gate, further reducing the amount of liquidity that can be had in our fund to just 1% per quarter. We haven't seen this happen with any other funds, or at least I haven't seen it happen where they've actually had to gate the amount of redemptions that were coming in. The CEO came out and said, well, the reason why we're doing this is because we don't want to have to sell asset at the bottom. We want to protect investor value. So that was their response. Then Blackstone comes out with their end of the month, and their redemption requests were increased again. And they actually made a decision to say, even though it was above what we would normally fill, they got board approval to fill all of them. They blamed the reason for why they had all of these excess redemption requests on Starwood. They said it's Starwood's fault because they had to cap it. Now all of a sudden there's a run on us. But again, they're trying to protect their shareholders, those that want liquidity, they want to be able to provide it. But then we saw something very different happen yesterday with KKR, their KREST product. They actually said if the value were to fall below $27 per share, they wanted to be able to do something to help protect investor value. And so what they said is, listen, we have all these shares that we've been buying back up, and they're currently being held in our treasury. What they committed to do is if the NAV per share were to fall below $27, they're actually going to cancel enough shares to help bring it up to above $27 to protect investor value. So each one of these have had different responses, and I believe each one will have a different impact and will potentially be rewarded or punished, I guess, by investors based on the responses that each one of them have had. But their goal has been ultimately to protect shareholder value.